What's up, everybody? 2024 is ending and we are about to enter a new year. So a couple of things I have in the illumination world, invitations for you to come sit with me. December 22nd is a holiday stress release session. I'll be streaming it live from an in-person event that we're having here in Indianapolis. You're welcome to come to that. It is at $11 to attend. And then coming up also, the New Year virtual goal setting workshop will be January 5th. Both of these are available online at illuminationwellness.co. I would love, love, love to sit with you. Hello, my friends. What is up? Great to be here with you. I've got a napping toddler, and so a little bit of time to jam out with you. I heard from a friend last week. She told me she's been listening to the pod, and it's been helping her out. And so that is enough for me to just keep going. I think we all have maybe pieces of our lives that we do them because they fulfill a part of us, a creative outlet. And this is that for me. This is how I can put language around my time inside of the wellness space and the spiritual space, and hopefully give beautiful beings like you access to a new way of seeing yourself and certain pieces of this reality. Because it is getting wild out here. You know what I mean? And my journey just continues to be a time for me to slow down. It continues to show me that while how I react to things, that part is in my control, what happens is not fully in my control or your control. And maybe we wouldn't really want it to be fully. It's been lately a huge theme in my life to just think about time. Now having Cairo turning 2, having more changes on the horizon, and settling into both still loving my wellness work and the retreats and wanting to get my trainings in the hands of good-hearted women, but also stepping into more of a career path and a path of really focusing on abundance for my family and setting our lives up in the way that we desire. It has not been easy staying home and not working as much over the past 2 years. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I've done it that way. And I know that working and generating abundance and even seeing abundance in new ways, it's important for me also. So today I want to talk about time as our friend and using time as our friend. And I have thought about this a lot lately, the concept of time, because it really is just this, made up thing that they decided was a part of being here. There was not even a system of time until, I don't know, when did the system of time zone start? And you really know this if you travel. 1883 is when time zones started. So I have been working on looking at time in a way that feels supportive, in a way that feels exciting. And when you have kids, it really becomes mind-blowing because the days really are long and the years really do feel short when you look back. I just cannot believe that my baby is 2. And many of us, we feel like we've lived several lifetimes since the year 2020. So time has a lot to do with our perception and how we are experiencing it and what we are filling our moments with. Time can be stretched and expanded. It can be utilized. It can be worked with in the manifestation process. And I think time really wants to be our friend. It wants to work in our favor. We talk about timelines, how the path of our lives as it's unfolding, we are on a particular timeline. And in any given moment, there are infinite amounts of timelines that we could be on. Every decision that we make can shift our timeline, can shift the trajectory that we're on. Many of you, I know that you know that in your own life. And it just speaks to the immense power of deciding. For the illumination women on this path, that decision of I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to get to know myself and how I'm coded and my gifts, and I'm going to decide to put self-care at the center of my life, along with caring for my people and my family and my community. All of those things are possible, but so much of it does take deciding. And so how time can act as our friend is when we decide that, and for me lately, it's been just deciding that I am kind of fed up with certain ways in which I've seen things, certain ways in which I've believed, especially when it comes to working and being a mom. The only example I had was that, you had to work really hard and be away most of the time from your family if you were going to be a working mom. The whole having a caretaker most of the day. That's just like very much the norm now. And as I have felt my own internal desire to not have that, to be in a space of, I want to decide what I do with my time. I want to decide when I work and when I don't work, and when I play and when I don't play. I don't want any societal or environmental pressure to decide that for me. And not an easy thing. It has not been an easy thing for me. And I continue to look at how I can sharpen my ability to just generate ideas and experiences and opportunities through my job inside of the horse world that will keep setting my life up in a positive way. And I feel so thankful because I have not felt that, in a couple of years, in dealing with just such a huge level of grief and loss alongside of being with a baby full time. So while that's being restored, I feel like for the women inside of my web, anybody that's going to be listening to this, life gives us these chapters where time's going to move really fast, and the opportunities are going to come really fast, and the changes are going to come fast, maybe even faster than you think that you're ready for. And inside of that is just the forever invitation to sit down and be with yourself, to sit down and use the practices and the tools and, to lean in lean into the ways in which you can show up for yourself. And then we don't have to make decisions from a place of old beliefs. We don't have to make decisions from a place of fear. We can really be fully in each chapter, even the challenging ones, and trust that everything is temporary. And that the chapters that feel super crunchy and like we're being mushed into goo, that has basically been my entire 2024, that they can be launch pads for new timelines. And we can use time as a friend to help us understand that everything will continue to move. And in each moment we can pivot. Rest is so important. Pausing, leaning in on the tools, but inspired action is equally important. We can't just, and this has been me lately, is, I know that I have to keep certain things moving. I have to keep creating. I have to keep writing. I have to keep putting retreats out there, because when I started to think that I was done hosting my own retreats, I got really sad, because I just love the gathering of the women so much, and it fuels me so much to know that I'm not alone in the way that I am approaching this life. So I'm like, well, I can't stop. I look at the relationships and the friendships and the collaborations that have been born from this desire to gather with intention. And we're 10 years in, and we got to keep going, because what time is showing me inside of wellness, I have, almost a decade under my belt of holding space for women in their journey of showing up for themselves. And that doesn't mean nothing. Just because it's not the way I want to earn my living to feed my family anymore doesn't mean that it's nothing. And I'm remembering that as I'm re-entering the yoga teaching space. I'm teaching here in Indianapolis and have some local little things I'm doing here and there. I'm like, damn, the space just gets stronger, and because I get stronger and I get more committed as the years go by to just continuing to be an example of what it looks like to really fully honor ourselves and really fully trust ourselves, especially in the hard times. And to trust the desires of our heart, how we want our lives to look, how we want to feel inside of our lives, is deep work. And it remains more and more possible when we do it alongside good-hearted, integrity-filled women. And that's what all y'all are. Everybody in my web. When you find a community of women where collaboration just is at the core and competition doesn't even exist, it's so life-giving. And it's so clear when someone is not aligned with that. And then they come into the space, and it's been plenty of times inside of my world, plenty of times when I believed so deeply in someone and poured into someone and, seen their gifts and their light, only to be met with distrust or victim situation or turning me into the damn bad guy. I can't tell you how many times I've been made the bad guy in someone's story. And I have to be okay with that. I have to, when things like that happen, go back into my heart and check in with my intention and my pain, where my pain lives, and make sure I'm not intentionally causing any harm or even unintentionally causing any harm. because that's the work. The work is doing no harm to ourselves and others and carrying out these missions, these sacred spiritual missions that we all have here, especially now. They are being activated more and more. And it may not be through these big, profound moments. I used to chase those moments. There's a time in my career, and I'm so happy I had this time in my career, and I feel like I'll have it again someday, but it's not the season your girl is in now. But the times where, emceeing the event at Madison Square Garden, or being a wellness leader on a cruise in the Mediterranean Sea, I was just like so hungry for getting up and out there in front of as many people as possible. And now it's more like, just sit here with you and speak my heart and speak it from this place of deep truth and deep love. And hopefully the areas in which you feel pain, or you feel like time is not on your side, or you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, and you're behind, or we can all just remember that every single chapter has purpose. That is my work right now as well. So please know that you are not alone in it, ever. And I'm going to keep going with my day. There's a mountain of laundry waiting for me. I always love to hear from you if you listen. And thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I'm going to take a big breath in. And I'm going to let it go.